Well, I'm expecting that there's going to be a lot of teaching and hopefully a lot of learning. We have a lot of young, new faces. Men's soccer in Division II throughout the country is the stereotypical team features lots of Europeans and internationals and older players, and we've kind of gone a different route. We've brought in a bunch of young Florida kids and to try to complement the players that we already have on campus. And with that, we're talented, but they're young and they're inexperienced, and how quickly they can adapt to everything, I think, will determine what kind of season we have. And because although the returning players are certainly prepared and capable, they're going to need some help from the newcomers. Otherwise, we're not going to get much done.
You have two of your seniors here, but when speaking of individual players on the team, who do you expect to be making a big impact?
I mean, it's hard to say. It really is. We've got three. I saw in here it was supposed to be four. I think we have three players that returning that started 10 or more games last year. So we're very limited in our experience, and we're still kind of finding ourselves. We have one player coming out of preseason that had done exceptionally well, that was a senior that we were looking to get a lot of leadership along with these two, and he's sliced his foot open at the beach yesterday, so now he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. So hopefully Felipe Oliveira is coming back from a broken foot. He hasn't trained with us yet. We expect that he will train with us for the first time today. So we're hoping that he can get back in form. He was our leading goal scorer a year ago, and certainly would hope that he's going to be an impact player. And we would hope that these two, Hank and Stu, between the two of them, can provide the leadership to keep our defense tight and not give up too many goals.
How would you describe the team's schedule this year, going into the year?
Impossible. We've got big national, in the national scheme of things, University of Tampa, St. Leo, Rollins, Florida Southern are all contenders year in and year out. Flagler's been the top team in the Peach Belt. They're on our schedule. We've gone out for our NAI matches. We've gone out and picked up University of Mobile and William Carey, who are both in the top 10 consistently in the NAI. So it's very difficult. Even within our conference, a lot of teams, it's grown and the teams have gotten better, and it's complicated now that I have just within the conference to compete against two former players of mine who are now head coaches at Spring Hill and Alabama Huntsville. So they know my tactics and things like that pretty well. So it's gonna provide a different challenge. So it's going to be a challenging schedule, that's for sure. Yeah, it just sneaks up on you is all I can say. I mean, when I came here, I remember looking around the athletic department, and I think Coach Spooner maybe ended up being here for 22 years. It sounds right to me. I think it was around there, and I remember thinking, wow, that man, he's coached here forever. And now I'm staring 20 years in the face, and I've got players that are head coaches other places. It just kind of, I don't know where it goes. When you're coaching, you're so focused on the day-to-day business of things, trying to recruit the next player, trying to run sessions, trying to keep people eligible and go into class, and all these day-to-day tasks. It seems like you blink, and then 20 years went by, and you're not sure how that happened. I feel best about our youth, and I'm the most worried about our youth. I think that we've got a really returning players are good, and we have a good foundation there, but we have, I think, a really special group of new players, and I feel like they're going to have tremendous success at some point. It's just, I'd like for that point to start Thursday, but it may not start as quickly as I'd like. We'll see. But I think that the youth is exciting, but the youth is also a little bit scary as a coach. Well, it's been really good, and I've seen the University of West Florida, being here for 20 years and seeing what we've done and how we've grown and just exploded around the state and even in the area. I mean, I feel like the first 5 years I was here, everywhere I went recruiting, whether it was to Niceville or down to Orlando or Miami, it seemed like almost everybody asked me, "Where's West Florida again? Where's that? Is that in Tampa?" I don't have to answer that question anymore. People know about us, and they know about our athletic department. They know about our school. We're on their radar, and the university has done a great job of growing and marketing itself, and the local kids want to come here now. And part of it's what we've done in athletics and maybe what we've done in soccer, but a large part of it is just how the university's grown with facilities and academic programs and things like that. So it's significantly easier to get the local kids interested than it used to be. Yeah, I think what I've seen over my time here is just an area, and I don't think it's Pensacola, it's just a city this size. The players kind of come in waves. You'll get a group that comes up that you'll have a couple of years where there's a lot of good talent that comes out, and then there might be a couple of years where it just kind of fluctuates like that. And I think we're at a period of time right now where the local club director is a former player of mine, local high school coaches at several of the high schools are former players of mine. And so we're in a period of time right now where there's players coming out of the area that can help us, which is great. We always would love to recruit locally. We just haven't always been able to.
I think it's just really expressing to the new guys the expectations that we have and, how hard we work and what we've built, what we had last year, and building off that. All the guys who were on the team last year, even if they didn't play a significant role, they all, want to improve. Everybody wants to grow off of what we had last year, and nobody, you never want to take steps back. And I think that's the main thing is everybody's come in, they want to work hard, and they want to build, and they want to be a part of, having something better and continuing to grow.
Well, I feel like every year everybody is, worried about the players that we lost and the players, that we have coming back that maybe didn't get as many minutes or as the previous year. But every year, it's the same thing. We lose players and then we, win conference. We lose players, we make it to Sweet 16. So, I expect the same thing this year. We're going to, work hard every day, try and win, a championship or two, maybe get a ring, and, just try and build on what we had last year. And I feel like this year we lost a little bit of size through midfield and up top, but I feel like we gained a lot of creativity with our new players and transfers. So I'm really excited about it.
I think to go along with that, when you lose a lot of players and you get a lot of new players, everybody's fighting for a spot. There's nothing set in stone, and everybody knows that. So the competition between players is at practice. Everybody's working hard, nobody's slacking off because everybody wants to be in that role and have that spot that's going to take us farther and farther as the year goes on.
Well, I am the longest tenured player on the team now, which is pretty scary going into my 5th year. But one thing we're really focusing on this year is getting better attendance at sporting events from athletes. So we've set up a program, an incentive program for athletes to show up to other events. And then the team, basically with the best attendance at other sporting events, will win a prize at the end of the year. And that's one thing that I have really been trying to do the last couple of years, because I feel like our attendance is all right at most sporting events, but like cross country doesn't get very much attendance. One, because they're at 7:30 in the morning, but it would be great if they had 250 student athletes cheering them on at a cross country meet or golf. Nobody goes to Scenic Hills for golf. I want to change that idea in the student athletes to support each other and not just be with your own team, and just to be a student athlete and not just a soccer player or a cross country runner. So.
Stu's a super fan himself, by the way. You'll see him at every game on the front row and things like that. So when he's not playing, he's supporting every team. So he definitely leads by example in that regard.